stick around for a few more minutes, answer some questions, but if you people have somewhere you'd rather be, you're welcome to either stay or go. It's up to you. And we've got one small brief to write because there was a case I didn't read that we have to do tonight.
So, free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
I have a question.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Eric.
Free Palestine!
When do we come back here for the next hearing? There will be.
Okay, thank you.
Wait. Listen up.
Oh, yeah, we don't know when the decision's going to be, by the way. I just say that first. We want the court to take as much time as the court needs to consider the issues.
You mentioned 2 TROs.
That's correct.
That's the emergency, but they have the same request for...
They are related to the same underlying issues. The second one was to enjoin the government from removing Mr. Taal pending the adjudication of the merits of the case.
The judge didn't seem overly receptive to your argument that this was the forum to try to deal with the problems in the executive orders. How are you responding to that, and do you feel confident that she will end up deciding in your favor?
Well, I hope I responded to that when the court was listening to what I was saying and not here. But an individual shouldn't have to be detained for a long time in order to adjudicate a constitutional claim, even when the government is alleging that its deportation notice predated the filing of the lawsuit. And we'll see what she's. I wish I could tell you something more. I wasn't convinced by the government's arguments, but I wasn't convinced by their arguments before either.
Are you still turn Mr. Taal in, or is there an agreement that you're not going to do it until the decision is reached from Judge Kuhn?
The Article 3 courts are the branch of government which gets to determine whether the president's actions are lawful or not, and we will certainly be following the court's ruling.
Can you speak at all about how that would impact the case if this TRO doesn't go through?
See what a TRO is for those that are...
A temporary restraining order. So we will have to cross that bridge after we get to catch our breaths. This has been a rapid briefing schedule these last few days.
Is there anything stopping the government from just taking him today?
Constitution.
Just to clarify, is there any standing to the idea that Mr. Taal's visa could have been revoked in a world where those executive orders were not issued?
No, because the Immigration and Nationality Act does not illegalize attending a protest or making loud noises or chanting at a demonstration in the United States.
Do you believe that the DOJ's actions towards him since have been retaliatory?
They say that about either his speech in the first place or about the filing of the lawsuit, yes.
You mentioned in court that counsel had not seen the details of the notice to appear, the charges, the date. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Correct. We asked for that in the hours after we received the 1 a.m. email from the Justice Department on Friday morning, and our request was not answered. We look forward to being able to read the purported charging document in which our client is alleged to be removable.
Being here, is the fear that he is under there's the possibility that he would be arrested if he were here today?
We unfortunately don't know whether this executive branch is following the law. That's not only about this case, it's about the comments the president makes about Judge Boasberg, but I'll just leave it at that.
Do you know how the federal government was able to kind of preempt your March 15th lawsuit and both enact his visa revocation and begin efforts to detain him on March 14th, just a day before?
I would just point you to the reply brief which we filed, and on the first page we explain the facts better than I could off the cuff.
Can you speak a little bit about this kind of case in general and the implications of these removal proceedings, the notice to appear, all of that on the outcomes of similar cases involving protest universities?
I mean, clearly the government is going out right now and grabbing people out of their homes whose views it disagrees with. I mean, that's what they're doing. And then they say that you've got to wait, for months and months until you can adjudicate those claims before a real court, and not the Trump administration is purging the immigration court system and the Board of Immigration Appeals. It is appointing loyalists to the regime. to make people wait in a jail cell, and that's what immigration detention is, for all intents and purposes, for months or longer as they appeal and finally get to an appeals court. We hope we convince the judge that that is too heavy a burden on the First Amendment to be tolerated in this case.
What are you hoping for out of these pending rulings from the judge?
I'm hoping that freedom of speech is restored in this country and that the executive orders which restrict it are struck down as unconstitutional as quickly as humanly possible on every inch of territory to which the First Amendment applies.
Amen.
Speak to why Mr. Taal isn't here. Is it because of a concern that he might be taken into detention? The removal proceedings might start.
Our concern is that the executive branch is not following the law, and we intend to follow the law, but the Article 3 courts are the ones who get to decide that. So yes, that's why Mr. Taal isn't here right now.
Article 3 courts being the district court.
Correct.
In this case, Judge Cohen. But that second TRO speaks specifically to Mr. Taal. Do I understand that correctly?
I'm not sure I understand
I'm
Your
so
Honor's
sorry.
question.
the on a nationwide injunction
Right.
against these two EOs.
Yep.
The second TRO is do not bring Mr. Taal into detention. Is that accurate
That's correct.
description?
Yeah,
Those,
they're both still on.
those are the two TROs that Judge Cohen referenced. Thank you.
Okay, we'll hang around for a bit. Thank you all very much for coming, and yeah,
This is great.
thank you.